Hello everyone. Now we'll see bioethanol production from microalgae. Introduction. Bioethanol production from algae is a third generation of biofuels. Involves in cultivating algae. First is the extraction of carbohydrates and fermentations and then produce ethanol. It is a renewable and sustainable alternative source of traditional fuels. Bioethanol production increasing demands for renewable energy sources has growing interest in biofuels, particularly bioethanol. Algae is the feedstock of bioethanol production due to their rapid growth rates, high carbohydrate content, and ability to produce a high level of bioethanol. Next, we'll see algae. It is used as a feedstock. Algae is a diverse group of photosynthetic organisms. Bioethanol production refers to the third generation of biofuel. It highlights to provide a renewable energy without competing for arable lands and freshwater resources, and its significant advantages over the traditional bioethanol crops such as corn and sugars. Two categories of algae were used in this bioethanol production, known as microalgae and macroalgae. Various generations of using feedstock for production of bioethanol production. In first generation, they are using a edible biomass. It's known as sugarcane, corn, and wheat. In second generation, it's a non-edible biomass known as wood, straw, and grasses. In third generation, we using the algal biomass. The algal biomass are two types: microalgae and macroalgae. In fourth and advanced generation is engineered algae. Genetically modified algae and crops were using a bioethanol production. Algae can be classified into two categories. First one, macroalgae. Macroalgae are multicellular, macroscopic and lower plants. The multicellular organism also contains carbohydrates that can be fermented into ethanol. They are also a pigment producing, known as a brown algae, green algae and red algae. Next is a microalgae. Microalgae are microscopic and unicellular. Unicellular organisms that can grow in fresh water or marine environment. For high in lipids and carbohydrate content, making them suitable for biofuel production. They also producing various pigments known as blue-green algae, yellow-green algae, green algae, golden algae and diatoms. Algal species used in bioethanol production. First one, Chlorella vulgaris. It is a green algae. It is known as for high in carbohydrate content and making it suitable for fermentation into ethanol. Second one, Spirulina. It is also blue-green algae. It is rich in protein and can also be processed to extract fermentable sugars for ethanol. Next, Botirococcus browni. It is a green algae. Its ability to produce a large amount of lipid and carbohydrate content. Next, fourth one, Chloroconchium species. It is also known as blue-green algae. It accumulates high level of polysaccharides, which can be convert fermentable sugar for ethanol. Next, Glaciaria vercosa. It is a red macroalgae. It contains significant amount of polysaccharide, make it suitable for bioethanol production through hydrolysis and fermentation. Algal cultivation. Algae can grow 2 to 30 times faster than food crops. It takes only 1 to 10 days to grow. They can cultivate in two types: open pond system and closed pond system. Open pond system is a method for the cultivation of algae with high oil content. It is known as a railway pond. Next is a closed loop system. A photobioreactor is closed equipment which provides a controlled environment and enables high productivity of algae. As it is closed system, all growth requirements of algae are introduced into the system and controlled according to their requirement. The process of bioethanol production. First, the microalgae cultivation and growth. will give us certain nutrients and requirements for this microalgal cultivation. First, light, H2O, nutrition and CO2 will give for its cultivation. Second process, harvesting. The algal effluent and slurry containing water are harvested. The third process is drying. Drying will remove the moisture content from the cultivated algae. Next, fourth process is cell disruption. A dry biomass are disturbed and convert into pre-treatment of complex saccharides. It is a fermentable saccharide as used as a substrate. Next, will convert into a fermentable or bioethanol production. And final seventh process is distillation of bioethanol production. Finally, the bioethanol are produced. Process of bioethanol production, we'll see the step-by-step process. First one, microalgae cultivation. Second one, harvesting. Third one, drying. Fourth one, cell disruption. And fifth, pre-treatment of complex saccharides. Sixth one, fermentation of bioethanol production. And final seventh one, the distillation of bioethanol. First one, microalgae cultivation. Microalgae species such as chlorella, spirulina, chlamydomonas and scrindinemus are commonly used due to their high carbohydrate content. Second one, the harvesting. Techniques using to harvesting like flocculation, centrifugation and filtrations are used to collect the algal biomass. Third process is drying. Drying is a method which efficiently and used overall yield of bioethanol. Using drying is sun drying, spray drying, freeze drying, drum drying and microwave drying. Fourth one, cell disruption. Several methods are used to break open microalgal cells, which can be broadly classified into mechanical method, chemical method, enzymatical method and biological method are used to disturb this cell disruption. Fifth one, pre-treatment of complex saccharides. Pre-treatment is a crucial step in converting complex saccharides, polysaccharides like cellulose, hemicellulose and starch into fermentable sugars for bioethanol productions. It's a main goal to break down this complex carbohydrates into simple sugars that can be used as yeast or bacteria can ferment into ethanol. Sixth step is the fermentation of bioethanol production. Fermentation is a biological process in bioethanol production where microorganisms convert fermentable sugars into ethanol and carbon dioxide under anaerobic condition. Next, seventh steps is distillation of bioethanol. Distillation work based on the difference in boiling points of ethanol and water. During heating, ethanol vaporizes first and by condensing these vapors, ethanol is separated from this water and other impurities. Next, advantages of bioethanol production. Renewable and sustainable energy source is an advantages between the production of the biofuels. It reduces the greenhouse gases emission and enhance the energy security in bioethanol production. Next, the potentials of algae for fuel is tremendous as up to 10,000 gallons of oil may be produced in a single acre of lands. Next one, algae can produce up to 300 times more oil per acre than conventional crops like soybean and groundnut. Algae can grow 20 to 30 times faster than food crops. It takes only 1 to 10 days itself. That is the major advantages of using algae for bioethanol production. Next, disadvantages of bioethanol productions. It needs to be grown under controlled temperature condition for algal cultivation. Next, requires a considerable amount of land and water for algal cultivation. Next, cold flow issues with algal biofuels. Some researchers using genetic engineering to develop a optimal alkyl stain. They required a specific lab for its research. Requires phosphorus as a fertilizer, which become scarce. And next, the fertilizer production is carbon dependent, and it contains a relatively high upfront capital cost. Next, not clear yet what the ultimate cost per gallon will be, presently too high. And its applications of bioethanol productions, its transportation, fuels, industrial solvent, we are using it as an applicant, and renewable energy source is the main source of energy using our daily life. Raw material for biochemical production is used. Disinfectant and sanitizers has used as in a bioethanol for its production. Next, thank you.